Hello and welcome to the channel forecast for March. I'm your host, Markus Verneuze, and I welcome Judith Miller.
Hi, Markus.
Hi, Jude. Jude is a channel medium and gets from the spirit world news about what's going on Earth, and we are going to share it in the first edition with our audience. Judith, maybe you could explain a little bit further how we give the news to our audience. Is it every single month or every 2 months? Go a little bit into it, please.
Well, we're hoping to do it every month. Some will roll forward. Some that come out each month will be rolling forward, won't be happening straight away. But we will certainly be able to update every month with new information. As to the information that's channeled, it's down to Spirit and what they want to tell us. But we will be sharing it each month.
Okay, perfect. What do you think? Do we start?
Yes.
What kind of news you have for our audience?
So first, I want to thank our audience for tuning in and hope they will hit that subscribe button and not miss out on the other months that's coming up. So I do want to say, when we channel through Spirit, not everything is black and white. Some can be a bit cryptic. So I have chosen to share it exactly how Spirit has shared it with me. That way, I'm not trying to put a spin on it. I'm not trying to change it. And I'm sharing exactly what Spirit has shared with me. So some is quite clear and straightforward, and some is what Spirit say is that it's not up to them to do all the work, is what they've said. You know, we have to put that work involved and understanding the information that's coming forward. So I'll start, and I do want to say I've written down everything that I can, so please excuse me if you see me looking down. There's just too much to remember in one go. So Spirit have said that there is a lot happening in our world at the moment that we're not being told about, which I think most of us understand that. Some things will be happening very soon, some will be happening in the near future. So they talk about Taurus, and I know when we talk about Taurus, we automatically just think of the star constellation as on the zodiac. But I do want to stress that Spirit are stressing to me that Taurus comes under many ways. It will be important in many different ways, but they're very much linking into Taurus. So they talk about, yes, the star constellations and why Taurus, they're linking Taurus in with that and the energy at the moment, very much so. But also mysteries, they've said, are not mysteries when they are all in plain sight. So what they're explaining to us is no one sees, as we're all looking much deeper for these answers when really they're a lot more simpler. Spirit are trying to guide us. I also want to talk about Taurus as in like the stars and the entrance, and they talk about within our star system. And they're bringing our attention to that as in our star system is much more than what we realize also. I do also want to bring in Easter. It's going to be relevant here, April, May, the zodiac dates of Taurus. For some reason, they keep linking everything into a lot of things into April. So I do want to narrow down that the Taurus date, April to May, is going to be relevant. I have also August 2024. Something is going to happen which will affect our world one way or the other. They haven't went deeper into that. Again, what they have said, our world will face what people might call a meltdown. But the world is very much going to survive that and come back from that And it's not in the meltdown way people literally think, it's not in literal terms. War is escalating. Cyber war has already begun. So the war
What
has.
kind of war we are speaking about? The war in Europe, outside Europe?
They've just literally said to me, as you asked me that, everywhere, it's going to affect everywhere. So they've literally just said to me, as you asked me that, north, south, east, west. And again, they bring in a lot to do with the cross, but I also know it's to do with directions. And they talk about the four corners of the world. I have to say, explain that there is a monsoon. There's going to be a monsoon, but it's not normal. And the monsoon is not for the UK. It's so what they're explaining to me was it's not in the UK, this monsoon. They did bring up about for those who love Queen, they brought up about the guitarist and wished him well. So he maybe is coming down with maybe a cold or something, but they're sending love. So I must pass that and send that love. So Chinese whispers is what I've written down here. That's how it all begins. Nations trust wrong people, all an illusion. The wrong people as in what people would think is an Armageddon. So maybe that's but the world does not collapse. So I feel it goes into like the war, but there's also a lot of changes happening that has already begun, a lot of shifts, and they're going to continue, so that they're going to continue more. So they talk about 99 red balloons and they tell me this song, they've told me this message a lot of times. And they explain it is very relevant. And anybody who knows me and my style of working with spirit, I receive a lot of messages through songs. And we looked at the lyrics of this song and it was quite prominent, wasn't it? It was quite prominent as to what's happening. So when I say the 99 red balloons, I wanted to guide people to read the lyrics of that song, because the message is quite powerful and it very much validates that message. So I know a lot of people are very into Antarctica and the Atlantic and everything. So there is a lot going on in the Atlantic Ocean, and there's a lot of drills taking place around the world of what's still to come that we're not being told is happening. So there's preparations going on, there's a lot of drills taking place. Those in high places in power understand what's going on, but us on the streets are not learning and being told that information yet. So we talk about a Christian army at war, and Spirit very much talks about religion causes these wars. It's about control in one way or another. We can have our strong faith and we can act from a place of love, but when we start putting down specific regulations and specific ways, then we're really controlling. We're trying to put that control, and Spirit trying to guide us to, yes, follow your heart, follow your path, but no, it's okay. The choice you make is your choice, and everything is cause and effect. So everything has an outcome and a reaction, and it's really down to us, that action and the outcome that happens by our actions. So I also want to explain this is nothing against the Bible, because I very much was brought up through the Bible all my life, but Spirit very much guided me to help me understand that the Bible holds much more knowledge and much more importance than we realize, as in they very much talk about the book of holy codes. So
Let me cut in here one moment.
Yes.
People must know in earlier times, books were written sometimes that a normal person or people can't understand what is the meaning. They wrote a second book, what made together sense. So the Bible could be a book what has the secret. Maybe in earlier times there was a second book to decipher the Bible.
Yeah.
We know there was a Bible code they deciphered already. But nowadays, maybe the Holy Bible is completely misunderstood. This as
Yes,
a general information.
yes. It's very much interpreted it not always in the way that, as you say, as we move forward with generations and different, we understand, but a lot of what Spirit are trying to show us is in the Bible. It's not encrypted to like we can't understand it. It's just we have always been in our minds or being felt programmed that we must read it in a certain way. Or you know, we must always be respectful, and we are always being respectful. But when we look at the Bible now, it holds answers to so much, so much. And I think Spirit are trying to guide us to uncover those answers, not just within ourselves, but also with the Bible. And as you were talking, Marcus, Spirit literally just said the words to me. I'm loving the fact that they're joining in here. I have to say, third book, Vatican. So there is going to be a third Bible. And they've literally, that's the words, they've literally just said to me, third book, Vatican. So that's interesting, and thank you. I'm really, it's fun, it's enjoyable that Spirit are joining in and are happy for this to be shared. So for a lot of people who have questions about, you know, the universe, our existence, the galaxies, they will understand this message or maybe be intrigued by this message. And as I say, I will only ever say what Spirit tell me. So they very much have said to me, the moon does not exist. It doesn't really exist. It's formed to imitate planets, matter, check it out. So many secrets covered up, unfolding new technology is not ours. It's been stolen from others, not of this world. The red and blue is very relevant to the disasters, and there's more to come. So I understand, you know, I always was of the belief that there was a lot of technology and wisdom and information and ways of living that has been kind of hidden and been lost. I know you would be of the same opinion, Marcus. So again, Spirit want us to understand these secrets, but they want us to put the effort in and work with them, you know, rather than them just saying all as it is. So I've also written down, which is taking a change, Germans, hand-to-hand combat in battle. And I've just literally, they've literally just said to me, to come. I know the world can be, it's a bit crazy at the moment with everything going on, but I think Spirit are very much trying to help us. I've written down again about the cross, and I've written down Easter time relevant, but not just because of the connection with the cross at Easter. It's also to do with the Taurus zodiac sign. Again, they're bringing in the April to May, that there's something relevant, something to do with, I feel it's more April, but I want to give that zodiac date. It's under the Taurus sign. So it is, they just said yes. Okay. So Spirit often talk about, and I know you'll understand this, Marcus, many are awake, but they're not awakened. Many can't, a spirit, sometimes they have a great sense of humor. And they said to me, many can't see the wood for the trees, but it will all come in time. Don't be fooled. Projectory, objectory. Many won't believe, many change is coming. And as a spiritual medium, I understand that we were going through a lot of changes. You are aware we're going through a lot of changes. Spirit are actually guiding us at the moment to be careful of the energies around us and to use them for the greater good, which I think is a very important message to reiterate out there. For those in the boxing, those who like to do boxing, I have to say Fury. Remember, guys, it's Spirit, it's not me. Tyson Fury, going to hurt arm. He will be out of action for a long run. So there's going to be a big gap along his career at some point here, and it's going to be due with an injury. He's going to pull out. And I know he's had an injury to the eye. That's not the injury that Spirit are guiding me to pass. So I must pass that. They talk about the pyramids, it's something we will be quite passionate about ourselves. And they talk about Stonehenge and, you know, all the old landmarks, everything like that. Timelines are still very wrong. I understand that they're starting to pick up on that now, and they're starting to piece, but in the archaeology side of things, everything is there's a big time gap that they've misjudged on. And as we go forward, they're going to understand that a lot more. And I think working with maybe mediums and people like that there will get a lot of answers that they've been waiting for years. So I think going forward, that's something that might change. The Antarctica, the White Wall, as people call it, the White Wall. The White Wall is covering up for many governments. Portal, dimensions, there's lots going on. There's crystals in the world we have never seen. And they are in the depths of the other world. Spirit has said to become one. Wait, and we will see in time to become one. But they've just said to me, that's important. So I will stress to become one. It's already happening. You just said. I also want to go to Perth in Australia. I'm being given news about Australia, so it's not natural. Australia more coming. So I do believe again, yeah, okay, they just said yes. It's natural disasters, and so I want to say that they have stated Perth. They've also stated, going back to the Bible, what we read, that the 7 seals, it has begun. The Bible coded. So again, they're directing us to the codes that's hidden in the Bible to be more aware of what we're reading and what it's telling us. So they have said the 7 seals has begun, but I don't think it's in the way that people perceived it in the imagery and everything else. I have to say terrorist attack London to come. But I also want to say, I think it could be a bomb in London. I've written down bomb, boom, I have to say to come. And I also want to say the words that they've given me, I've just written it down precisely. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. And I think there's a hidden message in that. And I have to say, for everybody who loves the royal family, I have to say Meghan Markle loses one of Diana's earrings, and I hope she finds it. And I also have to say Revelations, verse 4, chapter 6 is very relevant. They've brought that about a few times. Again, they talk about the North Pole, South Pole, entry point North Pole, exit point South Pole. Just like the tree of life has an entrance and an exit, so do life forms not of this world. I think we'd be quite naive to think, I know we're being led to believe that, but I think we'd be very naive to think that we were only ever the ones on this planet or the ones in this galaxy. Absolutely, there's definitely a lot more. So Trojan horse, nothing is as it seems, which a lot of us are already understanding. distracted from what is really happening. Taking over the world, the holy war, not Christian soldiers, religion, building the wrong army around the world. Emperor Constantine's dream on the hill is very relevant to what is taking place in our world. His story is very relevant to what is taking place in our world today. And again, they talk about the four corners. So they very much are trying to say it should be armies of peace and not armies of war. Very short one is French tar, all fall down. French tar, all fall down. Stars, this is and will be relevant. Exodus, Moses, stars. Dragons, be careful. 2024 is the year of the dragon, and I think they're very much guiding us to things that's going to happen and take place this year in our world. Number 13 was and is very, very relevant. The myth created around number 13 was to make people feel it was bad luck. It was to fear the number 13. But people misunderstand its power, and it was created as a number 13 for people to fear it rather than to want to understand it. When we look at the 13, we know that we know there is 13 months. We knew there was 13 zodiacs, which are not being shown. When you look at the American emblem, for example, it's got 13 stars. Their motto is 13 letters, you know, and then so everything is very precise in our world to do with numbers, and 13 was focused upon to make us fear it, to stop us from understanding a lot that's happening. So 13 is very relevant.
Let us go into this number a little bit more, because it is really misunderstood. The 1 refers to the evolution, to the will, and 3 is the evolution, start of an evolution, or a start of something new. But people, they think in karma, and because people think most about bad things, and the karma means action, reaction. So this puts all the idea of 13, the start of something new, in a bad light. Because most of the time, in earlier times and in nowadays, people did bad things. And action creates a reaction. So they will get back what they did. And so they saw it in this context with the number 13. But in real, the numbers, they are neutral.
Yes.
There's nothing good, there's nothing bad. It shows only a way things develop in the meta world.
It's really down to that cause and effect again. How you see it is how it will manifest. How you think of it is how it's going to show. So Spirit are saying don't fear number 13. Not the way it's being portrayed, and why some people would think, oh, and we also have to remember when you add 1 and 3 together, it's giving you 4, and it's telling you about the foundations and stability. You know, so it's showing
in meta.
Yes, it's showing us that in many ways. They also talk about life is very different to what we have been shown and what the world believes, and the prophecy is very much in the old scriptures. Again, coded, very much coded. So they talk about this year, 2024 is a year of chaos. The first half not as bad as the second half. Spiritual warfare has already begun. The prophecy, the book of David, they're drawing to is what's to come. Again, they talk about the Bible and the book of Holy Codes, but they're drawing us to the book of David. A very short one, they talk about sunrise control is that message. They talk about Earth has a major role in the solar system, the planet 9, It's not time yet. Iron is very relevant to Planet 9 and important minerals, which is galaxies away. They talk about a big divide in spiritualism because very strongly it's changing. It's moving forward and embracing the new challenges that it's coming across. Another one is they talk about Europe. So many uprisings in Europe. But sorry, my fur baby in the background. But it is being twisted round for the wrong reasons, fooling many people. Control is fear. Fear is what they create. To control as many as they can, nothing is as it seems. With people in power is what they're talking about. They are banking on people being scared they can't control the outcome, Spirit said. Only try and manipulate it, which they expected it to be much easier. They didn't realize it was going to be so hard to manipulate. They can be getting desperate. So there will be things in plain sight and people will go, well, that's just really in plain sight of everyone. Those in power, Spirit are saying, asking everyone to please strengthen their spirit, strengthen your spirit, my spirit, our spirit. The world will divide and it has already begun. So I do feel it as in the sense they're telling us to stay strong and follow our own spirit as to what we feel is right. The world is a bit stir crazy right now, and Spirit are very much aware of that. And as what they're saying is why they've asked me to start sharing some of the information that I'm getting is they want to prepare. They want us to prepare, to be aware of a lot of the secrets and the truths and things. It's not just plain black and white. So they're trying to prepare us and help us. Sequence of events is going to take place that cannot be stopped. And it is written in the stars. They talk about the stars and the constellations being a roadmap, being like the numbers. They talk about the numbers and like directions, if you want to call them, like guides. But it's very much, everything has already been, it's already written in the stars and it's down to us to interpret that. We hold the key, you hold the key, I hold the key, we all hold the key. And my guide, Joshua, has actually tried to say this already. And it's the fact that only ourselves is stopping us from accessing that key to all the truth, to all the answers, to everything being revealed. And it is very much a case of we have to want it, we have to work for it, and we have to work with Spirit. Spirit are being very open, they're channeling as much as they can. But again, we have to put that work in and that effort in to understand and build that jigsaw. I want to talk about August. I feel that there's going to be an incident or we're not sure if it's an attack or there's something relevant to August. And I very much want to say, they talk about August. I also have to say, Spirit talk about people they're trying to, it's all economical. It's an economical our world in the sense about control, financial control, fearful control, everything control. And they talk about, trying to stop people reaching retirement age and putting the pension in the economical side of things, but they know what they're doing. And I think a lot of us is really coming around to that. We're really understanding that now. Davos. Now, Davos was where they had that like big meeting of all the different people from around the world. And Spirit switched that around for me. And they went so bad. And they said, research it. So it's Davos switched around, back to front. They talk about, yes, there is going to be a terrorist attack in London. They talk about false worship. talk about World War III. We're already in it now. The truths are being revealed and the illusions, not armies of peace, as I was saying, armies of war. They also sing in the nursery rhyme to me, a tissue, we all fall down, like ring a ring of roses. And I've written beside that pandemic. So I feel there's another 25, 26, whether we're going like from one and into the next, but I want to say 25, 26. Again, they talk about moonbeam, trajectory, objectory, don't be fooled, not real. Gone to collect some of the missing people in space on space station are being brought back. Pay attention. Now that's quite cryptic, but at the same time, it's not. So sometimes there could be several messages within one message, which is up to us to interpret that and to break that down. Another very short one I said is terrorist DNA, not fresh. DNA, not fresh. I also want to say they mentioned Prince William said he had been quite stressed with everything going on. I also want to talk about a quick succession. I'm also picking up that William, they showed me rooftops, people on rooftops and on the street and on the balconies, and about a year, maybe year and a half, there'll be a quick succession. It is going to be a quick succession, and William is going to be king. I think quite a short succession is what they're saying. And I know they're talking about everybody rallying around Kate, which is kind of happening at the moment. So I didn't really go into a lot of that I've written down, because at the end we're wanting to really bring forward what's to come, whether it's within the next few weeks, whether it's in the next few months, whether it's a year. Some timelines Spirit are giving and some they aren't. But again, it is very much we are being guided to, I think what Spirit are doing is they're giving us that information, but they're also giving us messages that seem a bit cryptic and probably aren't when you work them out. But it's really who's interested in sitting down and saying, okay, I understand this message. And they're trying to awaken. Like they said, many people are awake, but they're not awakened. And I think this is Spirit's way of reaching out and showing people, okay, let's make them a bit more aware. Let's expand that consciousness. Let's open that awareness so that more they want to try and understand these messages, then the more they're opening their own awareness, the more they're opening up those channels and they're understanding the secrets.
Quite interesting. Judith, I hope we will have in 1 month an update and we can check which was, well, I don't want to say true, which not. I want to say which we could witness and which is further in the future.
Yeah.
Well, for
There's
today,
something within a few weeks, I must say, before you, as you were talking there, Spirit kept saying to me a few weeks. And I know we're coming back to do this, and I don't believe it's that. I think they're trying to guide me to a few weeks. They've just said, pay attention.
I'm looking forward to an update to see what's going on in the future, if it is going a better way for all of us, if we have to reconsider maybe many things. It was quite interesting. But for today, we have now a task to think about it, to see what is the meaning for us.
Yes.
Dear audience, I hope you join us as well the next time with me your host, Markus Verneuzer, and Judith Miller, our spiritual medium, in our channeling session for the next month.
Look forward to it.
The last word, Judith, is for you before we say goodbye.
I would just like to say the Spirit is very much guiding us, that we are in control of what happens a lot of in our world. Again, I want to go back to the cause and effect. I'm not putting anyone down. I'm not saying we all have a free will. We all have a free will, but we have the opportunity to make our world a better place, and to do it from the heart and the right reasons. And remember, everything has an outcome depending on our actions and words, and we have the power to control that.
There's nothing to add. Thank you so much, Judith. And until the next time, bye.
Bye.